big thing that's going on. Like Italy's now run by populists, right? I don't know if you're aware. The Five-Star Movement is in control in Italy. So Italian is now run by populist people. And the populist people made a statement over the weekend that they viewed the sovereign Italian gold as belonging to...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The people, not to the banks.
Banker.
Yeah.
Okay, so this public statement was made this weekend, but 2 weeks ago, Mario Draghi, and you gotta understand who Draghi is, okay? Because Draghi, he's Italian, he's the former finance minister of Italy, and 2 weeks ago he made a statement that nobody's allowed to do anything with a reserve asset unless they have the express written consent of the European Central Bank. So no country that's a member of the euro can do anything with a reserve asset unless they have or given permission by the European Central Bank. Okay, so Draghi knew this was coming.
Uh-huh.
Draghi was the finance minister of Italy in 1998 when long-term capital went under. One of the big investors in long-term capital was the Bank of Italy, central bank. Okay? And what happened was the central bank, to get money to invest in long-term capital, the Central Bank of Italy was advised by Goldman Sachs to lease gold. So they leased like 400 tons of gold. And when that happens, the gold gets sold into the market. So then they had the money. They invested the money with long-term capital. Long-term capital then went and made a huge bet on Russian bonds. The Russian government defaulted on the bonds. So now Italy didn't have the money and they didn't have the gold. Okay? So that had to be covered up, because if it had become publicly known, the Italian sovereign finances were in really, really bad shape in 1998. And that's what actually pushed them into doing the lease of the gold, because they were going to invest the proceeds with a can't-miss guaranteed return of the Nobel laureates running long-term capital. Okay? So if the world knew that Italy lost the gold and the money, Italy wouldn't have qualified for the euro, and there wouldn't have been a euro. There wouldn't have been a euro. It would have been stillborn. Okay, so that all got covered up, and the guy who was long-term capital's legal counsel, chief legal counsel, was James Rickards. Okay, and it was James Rickards who did the workout, very, very on the hush-hush, and everyone had to swear to silence, and that was worked out in the offices of the New York Federal Reserve, with Rickards acting as the point man. Okay, so that's what, and then of course Draghi was rewarded for his silence, because Goldman Sachs made him the chairman of Goldman Sachs International, which is basically Goldman Sachs Europe. So he was bought off, and Rickards of course runs around talking like he knows that gold's a great investment. Well, of course he knows it's a great investment. He knows the chicanery that goes on in the gold market.